Howdy, howdy, welcome to my video. Today we're gonna learn about the bass clef and how it's different than the treble clef. We're also gonna learn about the different types of instruments that play the bass clef and how to identify all the lines and spaces. So, I'll see you in the video. Bye-bye. Alright, so in the last couple of videos, we focused mostly on the treble clef. We talked about what instruments read in the treble clef. We talked about the names of all the lines and spaces. But we're finally going to move on to a different clef, which is the bass clef, or the bass clef. The bass clef is used for instruments and singers who sound low, such as the cello, the bassoon, the tuba, or baritone singers or bass singers, which is just basically guys who sing low. So let's practice first how to draw the bass clef. So we're going to do one, that's it. And then you put two dots surrounding the fourth line. It's important that you put the swirl and the dots around the fourth line. One more time. One, easy peasy. And you bet your bottom dollar that the fact that it's on the fourth line is gonna come back into play. Just like our treble clef, how we curled around the second line. All right, let's move on. Okay, so just like the treble clef, the bass clef has names for every single line and space, but the patterns are different. So if you take a look here on the spaces, we have A, C, E, G. The pattern for this one we're going to use is going to be all cows eat grass. So let's put that on the staff. A, C, E, G. Let's take a look at the lines. The lines are also a different pattern, and they are good bikes don't fall apart. And let's put that on the staff. So, good bikes don't fall apart. And as long as you know where either the G is or the A is, you can figure out everything else. Remember, the pattern is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Go back, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But let's go ahead and use our patterns here. So let's draw some notes on here. If you haven't already, make sure you draw this, pause it, put it on a paper, and do this with me. So let's put a note here. Is it a space note or a line note? It's a space note. What's our pattern? All. So this is going to be an A. Let's put another one here. Again, this is a space note. What's our pattern? All cows eat grass. All cows eat. So this is going to be an E. Let's do a couple of line notes. Let's put one all the way up here. Okay? And what's our pattern going to be? So good bikes don't fall apart. That's an A. Let's do another one. Let's put it right here. Remember, anything that's on the middle line or higher, the stems or the line is going to go down. What's the pattern? Good bikes don't. There you go. All right. Okay, here is your practice. Pause the video and try to figure out all the notes using your patterns. Ready? Go. And we're back. Let's go ahead and get all the answers. All cows. There you go. All cows eat grass. G. All cows eat. E. We have some lines, so we have to use our good bikes don't fall apart. Good bikes. B. Good bikes don't fall apart. A. Good bikes don't fall. F. Going back to a space. All. From all cows eat grass. Then we have good bikes don't and good. Hope you got all those right. So before we move on, I want to talk about the importance of the curvature and these dots in the bass clef. If you remember, in our treble clef, it had a second name. It was also called the G clef. And we called it that because the swirl goes around the second line, which the name of this second line was G. Another way to memorize this as a G clef is if you look, this kind of looks like a G. Kind of. If we go here, we just learned that the pattern for the lines is good bikes don't fall apart. So the second name for bass clef is going to be the F clef. And a kind of strange way to remember that is if you were to take out the curvature and focus just here and connect the dots, kind of makes an F. The next thing I want to talk about are our ledger lines and notes that go above or below the staff. So just like the treble clef, all you have to do is continue your alphabet. Remember, Boethius says
to use the first 7 letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
We know this line is a G because the pattern for lines is good bikes don't fall apart. If you're going down, that means you need to go backwards in the alphabet. So after G goes to what? An F. And after this F, the ledger line below the staff is going to be E. Same thing. To go up, what's our pattern for lines? Good bikes don't fall apart. So this is an A. When you're going up, you need to go forward. So the first top line is A. Go up 1, it's a B. And if we go up again, we're going to have a C. But this is that same special C as that treble clef. This is called middle C. You might be confused and think, why is middle C up here, but with the treble clef, it was down here? That's for another video. All that you need to know right now is the ledger line above the bass clef is middle C. Your first question is, what is the name of this symbol? You have 3 seconds. And the answers are the bass clef and the F clef. Your next question is, what instruments read music in the bass clef? Take a look at your list. You have 3 seconds. Time's up. And your answers are the bassoon, that's loud, the bassoon, the cello, a tuba, and bass singers. Flute, violin, and sopranos read music in the treble clef. Your next question, what is the name of this specific note? You have 3 seconds. And the answer is, if I can open it, oh gosh, come on. Yes, it is middle C. Stupid green marker. Stupid. So today you learned how to draw a bass clef. We learned what instruments and singers read music in the bass clef. We also learned the lines and the spaces of the bass clef. All cows eat grass for your spaces, and good bikes don't fall apart for the lines. We also learned the second name of the bass clef, which is the F clef, because the curl and the dots surround the fourth line, which is F. Finally, we also learned that the ledger line above the bass clef is going to be called middle C. So at home, practice drawing your bass clef with your staff. Try putting some notes on the lines and spaces, and practice labeling them. Test yourself with a hand staff. Just point at one and see if you can figure it out. Good bikes, that's a B. All cows eat, this is E. Alright, well I hope this helped you learn about the bass clef. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bella time! Hello? Ah!